Hi everyone, I haven't done a review in a while. I was going to do an Equalizer 3 review, and I just did not find the time. I don't know what the fuck I was doing. I think I was trying to record the video, and then my phone had died, and I just went, fuck it, no one needs my thoughts. You want a quick thought on Equalizer 3? It's perfectly okay. It came out, I got a few decent thrills from the action. Denzel Washington is good, he's charming. The movie, even it feels a little long, probably, even though it's only like an hour 40, you could cut it down 15 minutes because there's really like not much plot. It's just him. It opens with great kills, him fucking with society and growing to love the new home, being in Italy, and then it goes to fucking action at the end, the fucking end. Very basic structure and very simple, not much going on. Fun, cute little film. So and now we're jumping to the film that I think more people would be curious for a review for, and that is The Nun 2. This is the 9th film in the Conjuring universe. You could say La Llorona isn't part of the Conjuring universe, but you can go fuck yourself. They threw in an Annabelle reference. They have the fucking priest from Annabelle. It is from Warner Brothers Studios. James Wan still produced it. Michael Chavez worked on it. I don't give a shit what you say. Anything is going to tell me that that is not part of the Conjuring universe. Look, just because they don't mention Ed and Lorraine Warren by name does not mean it is not part of the Conjuring universe. You can go fuck yourself. Unless you do a giant change where they retcon it entirely, specifically that film, which they're not going to take the time to do. It is a part of the Conjuring universe. So this is the 9th film in the Conjuring universe. The Nun 2, also brought by Michael Chavez, his first film being La Llorona, and then of course he went on to go do The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It. Stupid title, I'm aware. And now he is here with his 3rd feature and the 9th feature overall in the Conjuring universe, which is kind of crazy. He's the director to do the most films now in the Conjuring universe. I can't believe, like, because what I was thinking, I was like, okay, James Wan started this universe and easily made the 2 best films, which are The Conjuring 1 and 2. And that stands. I'm not going to say the Nun 2 changes it, but, you know, at least isn't fair to mention that this guy's now made 3 movies, even more movies than James Wan, who started the universe and easily made the 2 most iconic films. He did The Conjuring 3. The fact that they haven't started shooting Conjuring 4, even though I think they have it written and planned out for when the strikes end, the writer and Screen Actors Guild strikes, I'm sure you guys have heard of it. I think they have it planned. I don't know if they announced the director, but I would have to assume it's probably Michael Chavez again. I mean, he just has fun making these movies, and each film, his direction grows. And that is definitely like the first compliment I want to go on this film. It is well directed. It has great visual style, good cinematography, good camera flare. It has a nice sense of direction and visual style to keep this film automatically already more entertaining than the first. I think the first is just dark, and even though it's cool, the locations where it's filmed, it having a Romania style, being in a castle, is fine. I think that this movie automatically having more locations, better cinematography, and clearly a larger budget does add at least a good amount for entertainment purposes. I think the first movie gets boring. If you need my review for the first movie, I would say it's a fucking stinker. I think it's the 2nd worst film of the Conjuring universe. I think it's pretty damn bad. I think the first Annabelle is the worst. It is just pure boredom the entire time. But I gave The Nun 1 like a 3 out of 10. I really do not think it is a good film. Love Bonnie Aarons. I got to meet her when I went to Texas Frightmare this past year. And I got a picture with her, and it was awesome, and like full love to her, and I loved her in The Conjuring 2. The fact that was like a last-minute decision to change the demon from its original design and make it this nun creature, and the way they did it was so fucking good, because the nun design it's so simplistic yet so fucking creepy, and it fits into everything that The Conjuring like attempts to do. Sorry about that. That's a fucking stupid straw. It fits into everything so well, that just design of it being a nun, because those films have faith-based paranormal possession elements, and just having a straight-up nun, the figure of, like, faith itself, being this fucking, like, demon is such a... It's like, fun, because it, like, completely toys with people, but it's also so creepy and unique, and Bonnie Aarons' just structure, like, her face and the fucking mannerism she does, she really gives that character a really, like, great popping flair, and it works, like... Anyone who has seen the Nun movies would agree that it really fucking works. And it would go the same, even in the first Nun, when she is on screen, which is like 5 minutes, because she is barely in that goddamn movie. If you are wanting more of the Nun, this is definitely more of the Nun here than you get in the first film. The Nun 2 is packed with visual images and jump scares of the Nun. There are other demons, again, that she has to support, of course, maybe even more, a little one more than just her, but she definitely has way more to do in this film. The film is called The Nun 2. It is truly a nun film. I can give it that props. It definitely for sure can give it the props for that. And honest to God, it's a fun time. I've been dragging this out for fucking 5 minutes already. Yeah, I had a fun time watching this film. I am shocked to say it, because I was just like, I went into this like, I saw the trailer. Visually, it looks like it has a bigger budget. It looks like it could be a little better looking, but it doesn't mean that the film is great. It's the fucking Nun. I'm probably going to be bored out of my mind. And honestly, the first like hour off and on, it was like sometimes clicking with me and sometimes working for me. I was like, there are moments of like fun here and creepy tension, and the audience is having fun with it. There's this guy in the back of the theater, like not the very back, but like he was probably like 2 rows behind us, who every fucking time a jump scare happened, he would scream so loud that it would lead to, after the sound of it, after you hear the which stretches really loud. It's loud to everyone who's in the theater. It's fucking loud noises, and you would hear it every time. There's a shot with a I'm not gonna say spoilers, but there's like a tied up body, like a person laying down who's tied up with a bunch of ropes, and a bird flies by and it makes like a sound. And as soon as that jump scare happens, you just hear fuck. It's so loud. Like, this guy was getting scared of everything. This guy, it sounded like at least a 20 to 30 year old man who was getting scared of every fucking thing that happened in this movie. So shout out to that guy for giving me a bunch of laughs during the movie. As I don't get scared by jump scares. Like, it's the tension building here is all right. It's more the atmosphere, if anything, that's creepy. And they do a few good visual gags and scares with the Nun. One of them being, you see in the trailer, is this magazine bit where Sister Irene is exploring the city, and there's like the standee of a bunch of magazines, and it like flips through faces and grows as it gets taller, and then it looks exactly like the Nun in the imagery, and it's so fucking well done. It's such a, like, if they didn't show it at all in the trailer, that scare would have been like, I wouldn't say as iconic and great as the full laid out scene from The Conjuring 2, where she's in the hallway and then flips around, and then you have the painting, and then you have her run at with the painting. That's just such a well built up scene on tension and fear and creativity with the scare. It was original, not just for the Conjuring franchise, but just overall in its time. It's such a well done scare. And they do some ones that are not at that level, but are close. They have some really creative scares in here. One where this girl sees the hallway in the future. It is like the Warrens' hallway. It is the exact same hallway shot of The Conjuring 2, which kind of lets you know that there's like future jumping elements and how people can see like a visionary of the future. It was cool that they had that element. And then as the door closes, she runs down the stairs, and right as she like loops the corner in this dark stairway, you just see the Nun like smiling, looking down right at this girl. And I'm like, that is like, and they didn't play, from my memory right now, they didn't play a loud jump scare noise. When she ran to her, it was like, and it's like just a little done. And I'm like, that's better. If you literally, something about it is creepier when you don't do a jump scare. It sticks with you more. There's another effect where like Sister Irene is like looking at her fingers and like wipes her fingers away. You see this like really, you see like a burnt figure. It's kind of in the trailer, but in the trailer they play a jump scare noise, and like here they didn't do it at all. And I'm like, that's like creepy imagery. It like fits in the moment being. It did not take away, you know, from the entire film, which is like fucking amazing. And I honestly, if this film just didn't have like a ton of jump scares, there are some actual like moments of tension, atmosphere, and creatures running around, and specific designs and elements that would have been so much scarier, that I actually would have boosted the film up higher. Once again, we have a basic story. I think it's a little structured better. The story that all the characters are going on, because it's kind of two separate stories, one at a boarding school and one with Sister Irene, as well as I think the character's name by Storm Reed plays is Sister Deborah. They're going on this sort of adventure to figure out why all these nuns have committed suicide, and like what is the cause that this demon that's clearly out there, what are they looking for? And as the story builds, it ends up being a connection to Sister Irene and her life and her backstory, and I'm like, that's good. They found a way to marinate a connection. Also, they developed Frenchie, who is, or Maurice, who's back in this film. From the first one, you saw he had the cross in the back of his neck, and that hints at possession in the future. They do another good thing with him in it as well that I thought worked pretty decently. They actually give him like a character, actually two characters that he like really connects to and builds a relationship with. So it's like, at least I have more feeling for the characters. It's not a ton, but it's something to at least say there's connection. And another thing this film does well is it builds tension. It is not afraid to kill adults, nuns, or kids. They will do it. And that lets you know that, like, technically speaking, no one's safe. So the tension early on in the film is brought up. You are actually like, holy shit, they will kill people in this film. It's not brutal violence, but like there is violence, and I actually respect that. for them pushing it to just a little bit of a limit. It feels like there's a little bit more tension in this film. That's not to say this is a great film at all. I think, again, as I mentioned, the story is messy. Ideas of the film are not fully developed. There are tons of jump scares to the point where it's a bit ridiculous, and they don't explain some different plot holes and plot elements that honestly could be helpful if they were explained. But the film is constantly having fun with itself, and the audience was having fun with it, and I was having a decent amount of fun with it, especially the third act. A lot of shit in the last, 40 minutes reminded me of why I liked Annabelle Creation, where I was like, it's stuff happening. It actually is, pretty tension building. There are two kind of areas we're jumping back and forth between. There is violence, there is actual creative creature designs. Even the third act of Annabelle Comes Home kind of has it, and The Conjuring 2 has it a lot, and The Conjuring 1 also has it. It's like movies where the third act, it actually is consistently doing shit. It doesn't feel like it needs to be jump scare, 20-minute lore build up. All right, let's do the next scare, 20-minute lore build up, jump scare, 20-minute lore build up, and then they say, all right, now we're gonna go to the fucking epic 30-minute finale. This film also does that, but at least the final act is really entertaining. I think besides The Conjuring 2 and Annabelle 2, and even The Conjuring 1, I think this is the best third act any of the Conjuring films have had. It does have fun, and it has a lot of unique features, and the film looks nice. I don't think anyone would see this film and be heavily disappointed by it visually, and I do think that the jump scares most of the time build to something or are well built up by something unique, and it wasn't fucking pissing me off like a lot of horror movies do. I'm not going to say you need to rush out to go see The Nun 2, but it's definitely a vast improvement over past Conjuring movies. I would say this is kind of in the middle, a little bit higher than middle. I would say it's below Conjuring 2, 1, and Annabelle Creation. I think those are easily top 3 and are probably going to remain unless something really fucking amazing comes out that they really need to build to, because honestly, it would be great to get something at least on the level of a 7 out of 10 like Annabelle Creation. I would say this is probably my number 4. I originally had Conjuring 3 there, and then I had Annabelle Comes Home. I'd probably say, because I rewatched Annabelle Comes Home, I might not just honestly go The Nun 2 at my number 4, then Annabelle Comes Home, then The Conjuring 3, which I still think is okay, and then the dog shit pile at the bottom would be La Llorona, The Nun, and Annabelle. And yeah, this is a fun film. If you have the chance to go check it out and you're a fan of the Conjuring universe, if you want just good, solid jump scares, some creative building, and you want that audience tension, and you just want a movie that flows by, and you are a fan of where the Conjuring universe has been going, and you just enjoy the Conjuring movies, you're automatically going to like it. It is the exact same vibe and kind of story structure and ideas you expect from the Conjuring movies, and it continues to do that pretty damn well. I honestly think this does it. Again, I said it's one of the best, at least, final acts for a Conjuring universe film in a while. And shout out to Tyson Farmiga. She's really great in the film. If her character was amazingly developed and she got a great amount to do, even though she gets a little arc, I really think she's a standout actress. I just don't think she ever gets roles that give her that exact standout performance that she would crave. Fun film. Yeah, I'm wearing a Friday the 13th shirt because it's Friday, so fits the vibe of a horror movie. And it rained. It hasn't rained forever in Texas like it did tonight. It was storming, and we went to the 11:30 p.m. showing. It was 1:40 a.m. It was a vibe. I do think if you can go see this movie on at 10 or 11 p.m. at night, it's going to be a fun-ass vibe. That's exactly how you want to see a movie like this. I think my next review should be for Haunting in Venice, which is coming out this upcoming week. So, also kind of a horror movie. And then we're getting Saw X and FNAF and a few other ones soon. So horror movies are kind of taking over. I did see an early screening of It Lives Inside, which I did not review. But I probably should do a review of it because I got to see it early. And that is a horror movie. So there are a few horror movies coming out. I obviously can't confirm if they're all great. I can tell you, I don't want to give away my thoughts on It Lives Inside because I might do a review of it. But The Nun 2, I'm thinking a solid 6.5 out of 10. Maybe on a rewatch it'll be boosted to a 7. I am really tired. I've been squinting the whole time. It's not because it's bright fucking light. It's just I am tired. Yeah. Fun movie. Go check it out. And if you're 50-50 on it, maybe go for a matinee showing or wait for the rental. I do think it's at least worth seeing once. And it's got some good moments. Yeah. Solid 6.5 out of 10. And I will see y'all guys probably in a week. Thank you. Bye.